Hey, good morning, guys. I was checking these nannies and lambs over here. They're kidding. We still got quite a few yet to go. But something I've noticed, and I don't know if you guys probably know this too, but a reminder that you'll see this grass is all, this forage is pretty high. It's probably over 6 inches tall, most places. And there's some brush in here. This isn't a real brushy pasture. We don't like to kid in a real brushy pasture because predator problems are worse there. And plus a lot of our pastures, we've had goats for quite some time and they've eaten a lot of the brush down. But what I was going to show you was it almost doesn't matter how tall your pasture is. You want your animals eating up off the ground, 6 inches or so. The parasites can't seem to come up there. But you'll notice even when this forage is taller, those nannies and Ewes will do it too. They like that forage just short and close to the ground. And that's just the way it is. Now, we're not rotating this herd right now. Travis is rotating a herd up where he's at, a couple miles north. But this pasture doesn't lend itself to that rotation system. Daily rotations very easily, and so we put them in here to kid them out, lamb them out. We like to have a big enough place that they can pretty much get everybody born, or most everybody born, and then we'll move them. And in this place, all we gotta do is open the gate and they can go out on some oats. I'll show you. But what I'm saying is that they're gonna eat close to the ground anyways. You may have taller forage and things, and you may think you're doing a good job, and they're not going to get wormy because your forage is taller. And I'm trying to catch a picture of some of them. There's one there. She's got her head way down there on the ground. Now that one over there, right there, you see some of them are eating a little higher. Some of them are eating the seed heads off the fescue, which has the highest concentration of the endophyte that we don't like, but that's just kind of the way it is. Fescue's got other good properties that we like about it for fall forage and that kind of thing. So just be aware that you can still collect worms. The last time we've had animals on this was last fall. So it sat empty, which helps, but that whole fall and through the winter up until lately, we didn't get any rain. Well, then your parasites have to have moisture when they're in the dung to hatch. Well, they just laid there dormant probably the whole winter, and plus they're dormant in the winter anyway. So don't think you can just let a pasture set for whatever. Some people say, oh, let it sit 30 days, 60 days. It's all dependent on how much rain you get, the temperature, because those parasites are not going to hatch when it's colder. They're going to sit there and just be dormant. So, I'm sure as it's warming up here, and we've had a lot of rain here recently, that they're picking up some parasites in here. Now, one thing, our goats and probably some of yours too, they got to carry a parasite load and produce, or they just don't stick around, or for whatever reason they get taken out by Mother Nature or something. But that's only up to a certain point, and so we'll be moving these off of here. I don't know exactly when, and I'll show you where they'll go next. But just be aware, you can still pick up parasites. I don't care if you haven't had goats on a place, I don't know how long, maybe a year. 6 months. There could still be parasites laying and waiting. You know, if you ran cattle on it to mop up the parasites, that's a good practice, and we'll be taking in some cows for that reason here over the next probably week or so. But there's no just set time frame you can say, hey, I'm going to let this pasture set for 45 days and it'll be parasite free. That's not true. Just from experience, I'll just tell you it's not true. And I'm sure some of you have experienced that also. Yeah, so this is that pasture I was just in as I crossed the creek there. Same creek that you seen that was swollen, kind of river water running down through it that day. And then out this gate here. And we'll just open that gate and we'll just start letting them drift out to these oats that we planted. It was back in March, I guess, and they had a kind of rough go. It's been so wet and all, but and we'll strip graze this. Of course, when we're doing it, I'll show you kind of how we're doing it and what we're doing. But so they'll be able to come out of that pasture into these a strip of oats here, and then go back to get water out of that creek. See, and they can come back and forth. Although they won't really drink much water unless it's just really turns really hot and dry. These oats carry so much moisture, very few of them will probably need a drink of water. But it's so hard to drive them across, those little guys, the kids and lambs, across the creek. But as we open this gate and more of them start coming over here, and they'll go back and get their kids and lambs and bring them across, and it's so much easier. So that'll be happening, I'm not sure, a week or maybe two. We'll just have to monitor the situation. We wanted to get a little more growth on these oats than we have right now, because we had so many days of rain and cloudy weather, but they've really taken off here in the last couple of days. And there's various weeds. You can see all the ragweed and stuff there that's coming up that they really like that stuff. But that's our plan here. And that's the same way we did it last year, and it worked pretty well. So this is the same field that we had the feeders on, that we fed those yearlings out. It's the same field. It's just by my house. You can see my house up there on the horizon, just a quarter mile from where we're at here. So there's about 30 acres in this field that is just for grazing. We just plant various things in here. So that's the plan. Of course, we'll have to see how it works out.